everybody, welcome back to the House of Health 365, and I'm Dr. Pat, and today we're going to talk about running shoes. I am a big runner. I think it's one of the better exercises for you if your body will allow it and your joints will allow it. Just a quick background on that, I used to hate running. I hated running with a passion. I did it in high school only because my brothers did it before me and I thought I should do it, so I did it and I couldn't stand it. And then in college I started to do it just because I thought it was good for me, I should do it. And then later on, when I started having kids, I did it because it was good stress relief. I felt better. It gave me a little outlet. It gave me some alone time for a little bit. I was doing 2 or 3 miles at a time. And that gradually started to increase. It became kind of addictive because you get that endorphin rush. And I understand now what they mean by that running addiction, because you think, oh, just another mile, just another half a mile, just a little bit more. And it got crazy to the point where I was doing 18 miles on every run that I did. And so it wasn't good for me. I could see that I was destroying my body, my frame. I wasn't taking in enough supplements, enough good food, enough protein to make up for all that I was asking my body to do. I was actually eroding my body from the outside because of all the running I was doing. Trying to stay healthy, but I wasn't feeding myself the right things, and I was doing too much running, in my humble opinion. So now what I do is I just do 8 miles, 8 miles every Sunday, either by myself or with one of my daughters. So anyway, let's talk about the running shoe itself. I am a Nike fan. Nike has not paid me to say anything about their shoes, but I like Nikes. There are other good brands out there. There's Brooks and there's Asics. I heard they are good running shoes also, but Nike have always worked really well for me. In particular, this is the Nike Zoom Pegasus. Their Pegasus line has always worked really good for me. And what I like about them is they're extremely lightweight. You don't want a lot of extra weight on you when you run. And we'll have another whole segment on how to run in the future, but now we're just talking about the shoe. The one thing I will suggest, though, with any shoe, I don't care if it's Nike, I don't care if it's Asics, Brooks, whoever, their inserts are usually junk. This is the insert. I just pulled this out. This is the insert that usually comes in the shoe. It's just a little thin piece of foam. It's molded to fit the bottom of the shoe, and it's okay. It's, you know, it is what it is. It would probably hurt to run without this pad in there. I, however, like to go out and get orthotics, and there's different kinds of, to me there's 3 different levels of orthotics. There is the low grade, there's the medium, and then there's the high grade. The low grade I consider what I just showed you that comes in the shoe. Or even like Dr. Scholl's. I'm not a big fan of Dr. Scholl's. I think they're kind of cheaply made and they don't really support that well. The next one up is the one that I use actually. This is a partly foam, partly plastic molded orthotic made by a company called Superfeet. And again, they don't endorse me, they don't pay me for any of this. But I just like their products. And they come in different colors. They're color-coded dependent on the kind of exercise you're going to be doing or the kind of walking or running you're going to be doing. Orange ones are for high impact. They have other different colors for if you're going to be on concrete, are you going to be on soft surfaces, are you going to be on a rubber surface. They have all kinds of different brands based on what you're going to be doing with your day. I use the orange one for high impact because I'm running all the time. And so what you do is you just take out the insert that was inside the shoe, just pulls right out. You literally just lift it right out and it yanks out, and then you slide the new one in there like so. And if it doesn't fit, I guess I should go over that. If it doesn't fit, and oftentimes it won't, when you buy this, it's usually a little bit bigger because they make these things big to fit people with bigger feet. You just put your old insert, you put it on there, you line it up at the heel, get them both lined up on the heel, and then wherever you mark along the top and you trim. So you'll trim off the excess that you don't need. And make sure you do a good job, because you can't undo what you take off. Once it's cut, it's cut. And these inserts are about, I think they're about $50. So it's really a good investment for the money. Again, Dr. Scholl's are like, yeah, they're on the cheaper end, and they're also cheaply made. These are really the most bang for your buck, I think. And then the last kind of insert or orthotic I'll tell you about are the high-end ones. Those are the ones that you can get made, custom fit through your chiropractor like me. We've got companies that will custom fit orthotics for you. Or you can go to your podiatrist and they will mold a orthotic designed for your foot. But I would highly recommend that you get some kind of insert, some kind of orthotic. Take out the thing that it comes with, because it's really just garbage. And then get a great orthotic to match a great shoe. Then you've got a lot of cushioning. The cushion, as it is in the shoe is tremendous. And then you've got better support and better cushioning with that new orthotic. I'll just say something quick about the shoe itself. I change my shoes out probably once a year. My running shoes I change once a year. The reason I do this is they get worn out. Not only do the heels get worn out and the forefront gets worn out just when you're striking and then taking off, it will obviously wear out the sole of the shoe. But just by virtue of this material, you don't see it on the surface, but on the inside there's all kinds of compression going on, and it does get worn out to a degree, depending on, of course, how heavy you are. The heavier you are, the more quickly this is going to degrade the material. So I'm not that heavy myself, so I can make my shoes last in that sense, but still there's going to be wear and tear. And if it's not cushioning well on the inside here or with that orthotic, you're going to feel it in your hips and you're going to feel it in your joints, specifically the ankles and the knees. And you don't want to mess with those. I'd much rather have you replace this for $100 or whatever it was, and rather than have to mess around with a damaged knee joint or ankle joint or hip joint. Well worth the investment. Again, not just for running, but also for just everyday walking around. One of the better things you can do for yourself to help offset, again, ankle problems, knee problems, hip problems. And it's also good for your arch. The arch support itself is good for your foot. Most people have got dropped arches in my experience. I've been doctoring for about 25 years, and most people have got bad arches. The arches have fallen. And that's another reason to get a good running shoe and a orthotic to go with it to help support that arch. Because what happens over time is, so if you pretend my hand here is the foot, and these are the toes, and this is the heel, what happens is as that arch flattens out in your foot, all the tendons, ligaments that are traveling from front to back get strained and they're being pulled, and there's a lot of pressure on here that shouldn't normally be there. Over time, what will happen is, because of this new pressure on these supportive tissues, your body says, this is unstable, I need to make it a stronger structure. So it starts laying calcium starting at the heel, and it starts to kind of form a little curve that goes forward, and those are commonly called heel spurs. That's typically the biggest cause for a heel spur, is a fallen arch. So that's one of the things you can do to offset arch problems if you've got them, or heel spurs, is again a good shoe with a good orthotic. What else can I tell you about these shoes? Again, I change them about every year, like I said. Plus they're pretty. Don't you like the green color? My old shoes again are these guys. It's the same exact style. It's also a Zoom Pegasus. It's just a year older. It's the last year's model. I wear these in the summer. I wear them in the rain. I wear them in the snow. I wear them in the water. I wear them all over the place. They are a great, super durable shoe. So Nike's really done a good job with that, I think. Again, they're not paying me to say this. This is just my humble opinion. Like I said, we will do another video coming up about how to run. For those of you that are interested in taking up running, we'll go over some of the basics. But I just want to share with you what some of my thoughts are on shoes. Again, there are other good shoes out there. Lots of other good brands. I would, again, encourage you not to wear anything except a running shoe when you're running. Don't wear a cross trainer. Don't just wear something from, Shoe Carnival or the dollar store or whatever. Get a higher end shoe, because if you don't, you might not feel it right away, but in the future you will definitely pay the price somewhere in your body for a less quality shoe. So that's it for this segment. We hope to see you with the next one. Again, if you liked what we did today, please click the like button down there. If you really enjoyed it, please click the share and send it to your friends on the internet. And most importantly, please subscribe to us, because it helps us stay in contact with you so we can share more of our homemade healthy tips, ideas, and instruction for you and your family to keep you all just a little bit healthier. Okay? Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you just a quick little tidbit what we were talking about, the shoe material itself and how it deforms and erodes over time. This shoe right here is my last year's shoe that I ran with for about a year, and you can see the colors are starting to get worn off, but more importantly, you can see the rubber itself is starting to wear away here at the heel, and then again here in the tips. You can see those first few nubs on the shoe have been worn down, and depending on what your stride is like, you could see erosion anywhere along the outer surface or the inner surface of the shoe. And again, there's all kinds of erosion going on the inside of the shoe, just from that constant compression that's happening as your heel strikes and strikes and strikes and strikes thousands and thousands of times. It's going to wear down no matter what, especially so if you're heavy. And again, obviously, if we look at the new shoe, it looks very pretty. There's no erosion. This thing is ready to rock. It looks great, both front and back end. Can you tell I get excited about new running shoes? So, and again, these are just some of the simple things to look for, or not simple things to look for, but the simple reasons that we have for picking out a good brand of running shoes. And you want to, renew them about every 6 months to every year, depending on how much you run. I wouldn't go longer than a year. Replacing them, I would say at the earliest 6 months, but at the latest a year. I just wanted to share one more thing about the water repellent features of the shoe. The shoe can keep out a little bit of wetness. Like if you're running on the grass and there's some dew on it, it'll keep that out for a little while. It'll keep out like a light sprinkle of rain. But if you're running a long distance through a lot of water in puddles or grass that's really wet or a lot of rain, obviously this thing's going to get soaked, and so is your foot. If you're running lower mileage, 1 or 2 miles or less, and you don't like your foot to get wet, you can spray on a water repellent. They make these sprays that won't hurt the shoe at all, but it does do a good job of keeping your foot dry if that's an issue for you. Okay? Just another little tidbit thought you'd like to know.